Greetings, Skill Incarnate bringing you all the latest indie gaming goodness. Welcome back as we look at another indie game. This time we're checking out Songs of Rats. This game was developed by Tesseract Games and is published by Salient Games, the guys behind the popular horror game Gore Doctor, which I hope to bring you in the future. Songs of Rats is a minimalist, choose-your-own-adventure style text-based RPG. Now usually I don't go for these sorts of games, they're not my style, but there was something about the game's unique art style, post-apocalyptic feel, and that dark and gritty look that I love in all of my indie games. So I thought, why not give this game a try? And I'm glad I did, because it's oozing atmosphere. Now in addition to that, it is brutally hard, so expect yourself a challenge, but I've been loving the game so far. So we're going to check out my progress as we delve into the world of Songs of Rats. The game features both a story and a sandbox mode. We're going to focus on the story for today. We're creating a new character, as each run that ends in failure requires you to start the game again. Now the character creation very much inspired by games like Fallout and Wasteland, with that unique monotone art style. Now we've got three main stats in the game. Body, which determines both your attack abilities and also feats of strength. Mind, which is your intelligence, very useful for interacting with technology, reading books and learning in general. And spirit. Now I found this to be a little bit less useful than body and mind. It generally deals with your mental well-being, and it also helps you in battles with some of the supernatural entities in the game. But honestly, a lot of the supernatural entities in the game you don't want to be fighting until right at the end of the campaign. So for now, we're going to focus on mind and body.
This world is a vast, ever-shifting labyrinth of shadows. How did it come to be? No one truly knows. Some whisper it was forged in battle. Others believe it has always lingered here, an eternal nightmare. Perhaps it was the cruel craft of gods who hate us. All we know for certain is this: it is the only world we have ever known. We dwell within its depths, wandering through ancient ruins. Like rats, we crawl on the bones of long-dead civilizations. Each of us singing a fragile song, desperate for it not to fade too soon. Few who dare to enter the wreckage ever return. Some seek peace. Yet most find only the abyss of madness. Some yearn for solace. But what awaits them is the rawest form of horror. And still, others venture deeper into this labyrinth, chasing answers, salvation, or perhaps the faintest glimmer of hope. But maybe you will be the one whose song finally endures.
For years, you have lived peacefully in your settlement. somewhere in the depths of a destroyed wreck. You haven't even thought about travelling deeper into this dangerous maze, but finally, something changed. Perhaps these are tales of wanderers and traders. Perhaps this desire to break away from everyday life has always been in you. Or maybe it was the crisis that hit your community that pushed you on your journey. The important thing is that you have prepared supplies and some necessary equipment. You say goodbye to your loved ones, promising to come back. You know everyone is counting on you. They hope you will return carrying treasures that will save your village. As you leave the village, you are approached by an old Moorhan, village elder. He tells you about a place where you should start searching. He tells you about rumours and legends of an ancient place built by hands other than human. There you can supposedly find unimaginable riches that will save the settlement. You talk to Moorhan for a while and finally set off with at least some vague destination in mind. So our journey begins. Now we have a grid of different cards, if you will, and these represent different events, each with their own benefits and risks. Now, first thing we're going to want to do is we're going to want to get strapped. So we've got a weapon, an energy blast, and that's going to be a big step up from our crossbow. So we're absolutely taking this. Boom. You pick up your blaster, testing it on a nearby wreckage. The energy beam precisely burns a hole in the metal. Now we're properly strapped, we need to get some armor. At the bottom of the abandoned crate you find a radiation protection suit. It still smells of chemicals as if it was recently used. Now that is a huge jump in armor, so we're taking that. It kind of looks like power armor from Fallout. So right out the gate we've gotten a pretty good find. And I would like to visit the caravan, but I don't really have anything to trade with. I don't have any scrap. But everything else kind of looks dangerous. So we'll go for the caravan. Walking down the corridor, you encounter a group of travelling merchants. Naturally, the people from the caravan try to stop you, offering to trade. They don't have much, but perhaps it's worth buying some supplies for the journey ahead. Now, unfortunately, we are broke. We have no money. Despite your desire to make purchases, you cannot afford anything. Sadly, you have to go without. Now we've got a couple of dangerous events. I definitely don't want to be fighting this thing. Any event in red is a combat event, and you can see here 15 armor, 10 attack. Having a look at my own stats, you can see we will clearly lose this. It's not even close. So we're going to head into the void. You stand before a gigantic chasm. A quick glance at the walls around you to notice that the unevenness of the walls could be utilized to make your way to the other side. However, it could be very exhausting. Nevertheless, you have no other choice. Unfortunately, it turns out you're too weak. By the time you reach the exit, you're almost devoid of strength. Barely managing to escape, you find yourself struggling. So unfortunately we did take a bit of damage, but I knew that event was far less dangerous than a stand-up fight. So we made it to the end of the first day, and sometimes you have to do a bit of a risk-reward. Figure out what is going to give you the biggest chance of success. And to be honest, in the early game you want to try and avoid combat almost entirely. Now what we have here is a very nice upgrade. The acid launcher. This is in the early game. This is the premier self-defense weapon. An acid launcher, weapon power 5. So we're absolutely taking that. You raise the weapon and prepare it for use. The thought of dissolving, there's a bit of a typo there. You should say their armor. Gives you a perverse satisfaction. I don't think you're going to want to be shooting yourself with this thing. Now I can trade here. I don't have a lot, so I guess the empty space will work out better. Who knows, we may be able to do a little bit of looting. You enter a vast empty hall. You have no idea what it could have been used for. The walls and ceiling are so distant they vanish into darkness. Okay, so we didn't get anything there. Now these events are a great way to increase your core stats, but you do have to reach a minimum requirement. As you can see, my spirit is very low. My chance of success here is probably going to be nothing. So let's go to the Haven. Finally, you arrive at the hidden shelters where weary travelers like yourself can find respite. These places don't offer much, but if you're in need of medical assistance, you can find it here. I don't have any money. Again. I'm hoping that by resting I will at least get a couple of points of health. No dice. Okay. So let's head over to the settlement. In various nooks of the wreckage, quite well functioning settlements sometimes emerge. You reach one of them. The inhabitants, initially wary, eventually seem to accept you. The settlement is regularly robbed by a group of ruthless bandits. The residents ask you for help. I do not yet have a good set of weapons and armor. We're going to have to decline. You don't have time for that. It's not your problem. Everyone has to deal with it on their own. Despite the pleas and the tears, you go on your way. Now, having a look at all of these other cards, the choice is obvious. The corridors are becoming narrow and narrow. Eventually, you stop understanding where you are. The twisted passages increasingly resemble some sort of insane labyrinth. You start to panic as you wander through these corridors. You feel more and more strongly that you won't be able to find a way out. You have the impression you'll be stuck here forever. Finally, you manage to escape from this crazy labyrinth. You don't know how you did it, but you breathe a sigh of relief. Well, that was lucky. We could have died from that event. We're going to get some rest. Now, there's a few things we need to worry about. One, our medical supplies, which at the moment are non-existent. And two, our food. We've got 3 days worth of food. We need to get our hands on more. Which means we need money. Now my armor is actually pretty good. And the cryogenic cannon is one of the best weapons in the game. The problem is that it does have a very, very high requirement. So we're gonna leave that. And we're gonna go for a companion. As you walk down one of the dark corridors, you suddenly hear a strange sound. After a moment, you recognize it as the footsteps of 4 limbs. Something is following you. You wonder whether to try or to hide or prepare for a fight, but you don't have the chance to decide. Suddenly a shape emerges from the darkness. It's good old dog meat. I mean AT-44. You recognize it as a small quadruped. You've heard of such creatures, they were called dogs. This one doesn't attack you. The dog comes closer and turns its head to the side, staring at you. You notice that aside from the head and a few organic features, the dog has numerous cybernetic enhancements. Well, of course we're going to give him a pat. You approach and gently pat the dog on the head. He seems very pleased with this. You notice the animal's cybernetic armor has the designation AT-44. You decide to take that as its name. You move on with your new companion following close behind. I think that's a Star Wars reference, the ATs. You remember the giant robots on Hoth. Okay, we've got some pretty good spots here, but I'm going to go for the safe space. I know this is just going to be an opportunity to do a little bit of looting. No? Okay. Now, I don't think this armor here is going to be any good, but we'll see how we go. In the pile of scrap, you notice fragments of armor assembled from various parts. It looks clunky, but solid. Okay, now as you can see, it's a massive step down from our current armor, so we're leaving it. You decide it's not even worth taking. It's too heavy and uncomfortable. Again, we can go for another set of armor, which I believe will not be as good as our current armor. Armor 4, yeah. So we haven't got a lot of choices here. I want to try and avoid fighting entirely. So let's go for the lichens. We can go and examine some lichens, which of course I know from previous runs, this is very, very poisonous, so we're not going to be eating any of it. Unfortunately, we can't smoke it either, so we're going to have to leave it. You decide you don't need any more supplies, you pass by the patches of lichen and continue on. We're kind of running out of options here. I think we're going to have to... We'll go for the cryogenic cannon. This is the creme de la creme of weapons. Unfortunately, you do need a very high set of stats to even use this gun, which I undoubtedly do not have. 4. So I would have to double my body and get another point of mind. So we have to leave it. And we've made it to the end of the day. Now what I can do is give my little Poochie a pat. I'll keep him happy. Now of course we are running out of food very rapidly. We're going to need some food soon. And I don't have any scrap. Chapter 1, Last Hope. Your journey continues endlessly. You never suspected a wrecked land could be such a grim place. You think of it as a graveyard, but it's full of strange, dangerous and dark life. You wonder if you did the right thing by leaving your hometown. But you remember the most important thing. You did it to save your people, to bring them hope and salvation. You think you can find it in the place you've just arrived. So the game's got a couple of little spelling errors, but they're very minor. The interiors you walk around have many traces of destruction and the passing of time. But you see something different, something you haven't seen before. They seem alien, as if they came from a completely different world. Despite the destruction and undoubted antiquity of the place, it also seems somehow more advanced than anything you've seen so far. You've probably found the place Morhan spoke of. You wander around the interior as if from a crazy dream. It seems you are not the first here. You have a hard time finding anything of value. You are slowly losing hope. The legends turn out to be true. Eventually you come across a familiar shape. After brushing away the dust, you discover an old rotten book. As you leaf through the crumbling pages, you find that you can understand some of the passages. They mention an ancient, abandoned settlement that could be salvation to your settlement. You take the book with you, ready to follow its directions. You go on in search of the mysterious artifact. Let's give a doggo another pat. Now we've got a few different choices here. I'm just kind of weighing up what we're going to do first. I think the no-brainer is going to be first aid kit. You find an automatic first aid kit that is still working and in good condition. It contains simple devices for cleaning and closing wounds. Hell yeah, we're taking that. Oh, and unfortunately we were pretty tired, that's all we had time for. And our food situation is getting very dire. So our goal is to either get money and trade that for food, or to find food directly. Another first aid kit, I'll take that. Going to be very useful for later. I do have an anti-radiation suit already, so let's go to these anyway. So we've made it to the end of the day. We're starting to make a bit of headway. And oh, I see a nanite blaster. Oh, that looks good. Yeah, we're going to try that. Among the fragments of a torn robot, you find a nanite blaster. Its small size and advanced appearance attract attention. Come on, please let me use it. So unfortunately, this is a rare instance of a weapon that requires the mind stat, one of which we have invested absolutely nothing in, so we cannot use this gun. I am a little bit disappointed, not gonna lie. Okay, so we've got a few different paths to go. We can go to the camouflage suit. You notice an abandoned camouflage suit in the mushroom bushes growing in the corner. Its surface shimmers slightly in the light. Okay, that is going to be far less than our current armor, so we're going to leave that behind. Don't worry, we'll find more. Okay, next thing we're going to want to do is go for the energy capacitors. The red glow is an obvious indication. Universal energy capacitors connected to your equipment make it significantly more dangerous. Oh, hell yeah! So we've actually upgraded our weapon, and our acid launcher is now a very deadly weapon. This is going to help us out a great degree. But you have to remember, every fight that you're in will wear your weapons down, and they'll do less damage in successive fights. So only fight when you absolutely have to. You discover an ancient device that appears to be some kind of manufacturing equipment. Furthermore, the flickering lights indicate it's still operational. You try to understand how to use the device to produce something valuable for you. Not too bad, not too bad. Let's go to the Children of the Wanderer. You reach a large dusty hall. In one corner you see a group of people sitting on the ground, staring at a strange monument made of remains. It looks like they just built it and could move at any moment. You get closer, you notice the people are blindfolded. Most of them are quietly whispering some prayers. One of them must have heard you. He turns to you and smiles. He says the traveller is leading them to the light, to safe paths amid the dangers of the wreckage. The cultist extends his hands to you and invites you to join them. I mean, I may regret this, but you join the congregation to understand their fate. They give you a symbolic blindfold. You blindfold yourself and sit down. Chants and whispers surround you, and the air is filled with the smell of burnt electronics. The ceremony lasts a long time, and the monotonous chants and whispers lull you into a strange state on the edge of sleep. Suddenly you jolt awake. You can't hear anything around you. You take off the blindfold and discover you are sitting alone. There are no cultists, no monument. Next to you, you see a small pack with a first aid kit and supplies. Not too bad, not too bad. That's a pretty solid amount of supplies. And we absolutely needed them. Now, I know this space-time event is going to be really painful. I'm going to go with... I mean, these could be deadly, so let's go with the fireflies. Got toxic fireflies. Suddenly the darkness is illuminated by a strange blue-green glow. Luminous dust begins to surround you, its movements appearing deliberate. It looks like some dispersed entity that is examining and observing you. You're afraid to move, not knowing what will happen next. The luminous particles begin to penetrate your body through your nose, mouth, ears. You feel a gentle warmth spreading along with your blood. After a moment, immense pain knocks you to the ground. You fall coughing up blood, feeling like it's the end. Fortunately, it all passes, but you're exhausted and wounded. So not gonna lie, we're pretty banged up, but we have gotten ahead with the food situation. So we're going to move on to our next day. And there's a ton of good stuff here. Now, of course, my health is not looking good, so I'm going to prioritize finding more med kits, more supplies, and possibly more weapons. Now, I know from memory, the acid launcher is not going to be as good as our custom little baby here that's been upgraded. So well, let's have a look and see what else we've got here. Let's go to the acid launcher, and then I'm going to ignore it. I'm going to leave it. Then we'll go to the void. Actually, let's do this broken robot event. You come across a damaged robot, you wonder if you could manage to get it up and running again. We'll repair it. The robot wasn't as damaged as it first seemed. It quickly stands up and looks at you with softly glowing eyes. You feel the eyes turn red. The robot lunges at you, ready to fight. The android, completely lifeless, springs to life the moment you pass by. Despite its heavily damaged and aged body, it immediately attacks, and its moves surprisingly agile. Okay, this thing is really dangerous. We're out of here. We're running. Thankfully, the robot is very slow, so it was easy to evade him. And we've made it through another day. As you can see, most of the enemies at this stage of the game, this early stage, we cannot beat them. Even with our upgraded equipment, we would be annihilated. Okay, now that first aid kit's got my name on it. We're taking that. You find an automatic first aid kit. We're taking that. So we've now got a nice little nest egg of healing items, which we're going to burn through, don't worry. Let's go for empty corridors. We've done this event before. I'm just going to have a search through here. Now, it is counterproductive. You think, why aren't you attacking enemies? Attack events in the game are often, you lose more than you gain. So combat, generally, you want to try and avoid altogether. Okay, so we've got a camouflage suit. That's not going to be as good as my current suit. Now I'm going to do something dumb. We're going to do the broken robot event, because the robot doesn't always attack you. It is a bit of a dice roll. Unfortunately, this robot as well has decided to attack us. I mean, I was hoping that maybe I'd catch a break, but now we got to run. Thankfully, these robots are terribly slow and super easy to avoid. Oh, we got an opportunity to get a companion. Now, this guy is fantastic. Thulma. The man has many implants in his body, is covered in cables and strange devices. He looks at you with a searching gaze from his opalescent eyes. Finally, he speaks. His name is Thulma. In a low voice, he says he's been following you and watching you for days. He says the spirits have been whispering to him that you may be someone he's been waiting for. He intends to join you and see if you can handle some secret test. Yeah, let's do it. When you agree, the man reveals to you he's been wandering alone for a very long time, having chosen the path of a shaman. He tries to listen to the whispers of the cybernetic spirits. Okay, so he's a tech priest. He's got that 40k look about him. You move on, and Thulma moves by your side. You feel his strange inhuman eyes on you. We've got a bunch of XP, and we're putting the gang together. Now, Thulma can actually heal me. I see you're looking for something. What are you looking for? Heal me, baby. Yes, your body is suffering. Your body is failing. Maybe I can help you. Not this time. I feel the whispers of the spirits. Your wounds are a trial you must deal with alone. This may change in the future, or it may not. Come back another time and we'll see what the spirits say about it. Okay, so basically it's a bit of a coin toss with Thulma. It seems if you're really low on health, that's when he's more inclined to come and help you. But if you're on 50% or above health, he'll generally not. Guided by the writings of an ancient book, you arrive at a strange and mysterious place. In the vast hall, which may have been a space station, you find something resembling a city. You step onto a street where no human has walked for countless ages. Or perhaps no human has ever set foot in the city. That's something you can't be sure of. At this point, the writings in the ancient tome become incredibly vague. Yet you have no choice. Everything points to the strange artifact being hidden somewhere in this strange, dark city. All that remains is for you to wander through these abandoned streets and structures, searching for what you see. As you look around, you notice something strangely familiar about the surroundings. Now I know looking around doesn't really help, so I'm going to move on. You don't have time for this. You know your settlement is eagerly awaiting your return and rescue. You press on, ignoring unnecessary distractions. Okay, so now things are starting to get a little bit more dangerous. I would like to get my hands on some better weapons, but I know that my current acid launcher is kind of the best weapon in the game until we get enough stats to be able to wield a cryogenic cannon. So energy blaster we're going to avoid for now. I see some pretty good stuff here. Let's go to the command center. When you enter the circular room, everything comes to life. Somehow the screens on the walls are still working and now display a continuously updated map of the area. Thanks to them, you can better plan your next route. Let's find a new way. After a moment of analysing the maps, you notice a route that gives you the chance to find more discoveries. It's somewhat risky, but you decide to take the chance. So we've now got an extra bit of action points. That means an extra step we can take before we end the day. That may work against us depending on what options we have available, because you have to take your chances. Okay, so we're avoiding all the fights, and we're gonna go for let's go with the energy blaster. I don't have to keep it, but I'm just trying to use up my action points so I don't have to take on a fight. This thing obviously far inferior to my current wireless hole punches, so we're going to leave that behind. And we've got, let's go with the production device. Now, I think we've done this already. Manufacturing equipment, yes. This will this upgrade my weapons again? No, okay, it's just giving me a bit of scrap. But I'll take it. We do need scrap. We're very low. We're low on everything. The only thing we've got a lot of at the moment, ironically, is health kits. And I'm sure that's bound to change. The old computer you find suddenly comes to life. It turns out it's just part of a complex AI system that's noticed your presence. You're about to run when the AI stops you. The machine doesn't intend to hurt you. The computer tells you it's been used by humans since time immemorial. It's been connected to production systems, and its original purpose was philosophy and poetry. The AI begs you to destroy the equipment so it can go to sleep and wait for another time. We're going to take the path of honor, and we are going to let the AI go to its eternal rest. You decide to comply with the request of the intelligence. Guided by an instruction, you destroy specific pieces of equipment. Thanks to this, there are no more connections to the production machines. There are no more security measures. The AI is free. It thanks you and falls into a sleep that will last for who knows how long. So again, we've gained a little bit of XP. I'm going to have a talk to Thulma, and hopefully he will provide me with some health. Yes, yes, yes. Your body is suffering. Your body is failing. Maybe I can help you. What do you think? Where are my knives? Well, that was, I would have preferred some bandages or maybe a band-aid, maybe not a knife in the guts. But I can't deny his effectiveness. Okay, so now we've got the ability to heal, but I do know this medical system is based entirely upon my mind stat, which at the moment is 0. So this would be a complete waste of time, and in fact could be dangerous. So let's go to the local village. The village you arrive at seems to have been suffering for a long time. A few remaining inhabitants are suffering from some devastating disease. They beg you for help. They ask you to give them medicine. Well, I guess I've got some med kits. You take all of them? All of them? No, wait. Oh dear. They bring you the several valuable items, perhaps the entire wealth of the village, gathered for such an occasion. You've lost all the medicine, but you've saved these people. Bruh. Those health kits are worth 100 scrap per health kit. I just lost 400 scrap to help your village. Bruh. I hope it's going to be worth it. Okay, every single thing we've got here has an element of danger. I have a bad feeling about this. We've just sacrificed all of our health. I have no way of healing. Now this is going to be a fight for shizzle. Let's go for the Lost Outpost, because I believe the Hidden Vault has some supernatural enemies in it, and we are not equipped for those. You come across a long abandoned outpost. It's hard to say what was stationed here and what they did. It's hard to say how many people lived here over the years. Now, however, the place is dead and abandoned. Most likely you wonder if it'll be safe to investigate the outpost. Well, we got nothing to lose at this point. Unfortunately, the outpost is not as abandoned as it first seemed. When you enter, you hear movement. You quickly realise you will not avoid a fight. Through the wreckage there are plenty of bandits preying on others. Your path crosses with one of them. He smiles cruelly at you, ready to take everything you have, including your life. Now, this guy's actually pretty weak. We can defeat him. And I think it may be worth it because we do need some supplies. I'm just going to hope that he will drop some medicine for us. The pirate attacks you with a gun in his hand, but you counterattack, preventing him from taking the initiative. As you can see, this guy does not stand a chance, so we're going to deliver the finishing blow. So again, a counterattack. The pirate falls down with a curse on his lips. His plans for robbery end in the silence of the emptiness of the wreckage. And that was 100% worth it because we just got scrap, food and a ton of XP, and we can level up. Now it's a pretty easy choice as we want to increase our spirit. Okay. And we don't have the ability to heal ourselves. I could heal using food, but that would be a very stupid mistake because we don't have any in spare. Now I've got spirit now, so it's gonna be a bit of a gamble, but because my health is so low, it might be worth considering. This is danger, this is danger, this is danger, and this is definitely danger. So I'm gonna roll the dice. I'm gonna take a calculated risk. With our new spirit stat of 1, I'm hoping that will be sufficient. Medical system. A tangle of cables, tubes, and containers you find. There seems to be some sort of medical system or something similar. It appears to be still operational. The question is, will you be able to make use of it? Unfortunately, you don't understand any of it. The system is a puzzle to you. No one seems to be able to solve. Okay, well, we didn't get anything, but we didn't lose anything either, so. Now, I'm going to go for the drone hangar, because we've got 2 events that are both dangerous, and this seems the less dangerous of the 2. You look around the tall room, its walls covered in numerous indentations. In some of the indentations, ancient machines still remain, bristling with weaponry and tools whose purpose you can't even begin to name. Nothing happens. As you walk, you find a damaged machine on the floor. Its armor is crumbled so you can extract valuable components from it. So, as you can see, everything is a calculated risk. Sometimes we'll get good events, sometimes we'll get bad events, and sometimes we'll get both. I mean, we don't have much choice, we'll go for the vault. You stumble upon a hidden vault. The heavy doors are ajar and the security systems are damaged. As you peer inside, a gang that likely caused the breach falls out confronting you. At first you hear sounds, but you don't have a chance to retreat. Suddenly you're surrounded. At first glance they appear to be ordinary travellers, but from their demeanour you can tell they've reached places that have changed them, making them not entirely human anymore. This is bad. Technically I can beat them, but if I do this fight I'm going to be left absolutely destroyed. Health wise, but if I try and run on 5 health, I could die. So this is where we need to make a choice. Do I run? Do I fight? Judging by my health, if I fight, my chance of survival is good. If I run, my chance of survival isn't good. So I'm going to make a calculated risk. We're going to fight. Surrounded by the group, you parry their attacks using every skill you have. This is a battle at the limit of endurance. Okay, so they have 6 health left. And now we can deliver the finishing blow. Each attacker falls to the ground. Defeated, their inhuman form makes you feel relieved and disgusted at the same time. Now we got a ton of food, and I'm really happy with that. So what I can do is use some of that food we've just gained to heal myself. Okay. Now all of these options seem bad. I mean, we're in a really bad spot here. The dueling champion, I've done this event before, we are not going to win. This is potentially going to kill us. And this for sure is going to kill us. The only decision that makes any sense is to go for the mystery box. And of course, we've gotten the worst outcome of all. The first thing you notice is a red dot wandering across your body. Instinctively, you dodge the first bullet. You grip your weapon tighter, knowing the hunt has begun. Okay, what I can tell you is if this thing hits us, we are dead. Our only option is to run, which is exactly what we're going to do. Now, if we fail, we're going to die. So, we're dead if we fight. We're possibly dead if we run away. We're just going to do the best we can. And in this case, I have no idea how we've done it, but we were able to flee that terrible situation. So we fled with our lives, and we managed to survive. Now, unfortunately, we're really hurting for supplies. I don't have a lot of anything right now. And once again, we have a number of different opportunities here. Now, I know the energy blaster is not going to be that useful, so I'm going to go with the weapon laboratory. And maybe we can find a new weapon or upgrade the one we currently have. The strange devices appear to be something that was once used for crafting and improving weapons. Unfortunately, you're unable to comprehend how these devices work. You shrug and move along your journey. No dice. Okay, so we're going to avoid the energy blaster. We've come across, I don't know if there's stormtroopers in this world, but there seems to be a lot of these blasters, and they seem to be just everywhere throughout the world. So again, I'm just trying to pick the items. We've got 2 choices left to go. And I need to pick the ones that are going to get us through the day alive. So we picked a mechanical forge. You come across an ancient forge, you have no idea what it might have been used for, but the heavy equipment could serve you in strengthening and upgrading your gear. Unfortunately, after several attempts, you discover you're unable to move the old machinery. You feel disappointed, but you move on. So unfortunately, my body was too low. So let's head over to the settlement next. We've already done this event before. The villagers are going to ask me to provide some help. And I am going to decline because I am on the edge of death. Ain't nobody got time for that. So unfortunately we're not much better off, but I'm going to go and have a chat to Thorma. And hopefully he is going to help me heal up. Very nice. So obviously the amount he heals you is also a die roll. And in this case he has provided a huge amount of health. And we're at 2/3 health. So let's have a rest. We've had so many close calls in this adventure already. You walk along a long, winding corridor. Despite feeling a sense of danger, nothing happens at all. Okay, let's head to the ancient temple. We get a safe area. The monumental interiors and decorations fill you with a profound spiritual peace. The place must have served as a spiritual center. You come across fragments of philosophical and spiritual treatises. You stay in this place to rest and regain your strength. You use your time to read the treatises, accompanied by the sounds of still functioning robo-monks. Not too bad, not too bad. We back in the game, baby. Full health. And I've got a bonus spirit. Not too bad. Okay, so looking around, I think our next best option is the Hall of Worship. You find a small room. The entire floor is covered with thick blankets and dirty cushions. The walls are adorned with strange symbols, and on one of them there's a totem made from scrap. The strange chapel is unfortunately not abandoned. From the shadows of the room, emaciated figures emerge. Their movements reveal they do not have friendly intentions. You find yourself surrounded by a group of emaciated, trembling figures with madness in their eyes. The real fear sets in when you notice bloodstains on their clothes and incredible hunger in their eyes. Okay, we got to get out of here because I really don't want to be fighting these guys. I could win. Looking at my health, we do 8 damage per turn, and it's going to take 3 turns to kill them. But that also means I'm going to lose virtually all of my life doing this. So we're running. Unfortunately, we're not successful. The enemy has delivered a blow, but no damage to us. So I mean, our best bet, discretion is the better part of valor. Now I believe that they're just not going to let me out of here. But I mean, there's no harm in trying to brute force this. Okay, so what we know now, we've attempted 5 times to escape. And if I try and escape any longer, we're going to die. So 11 health, they do 3 health per attack. We've got no choice now, we've got to fight. 1 more failed attempt, and my health is going to be too low to survive an attack. So wild men rush at you, desperately trying to defeat you. You fight them off with brute force. We've got to do this. We don't have a choice. Again, another strike. We're in really bad shape, but we can win this. You conquer them all. Even though they're humans, their savagery left you no choice. You leave their dead bodies behind. Now, even though we are on the brink of death, we're in bad shape. We've got a ton of food. We've got a ton of scrap. So it might be worth trying to find a trader and find a way to get our health back. We've still got 3 choices we need to make. So I'm going to go for the settlement. And of course, they're going to want help. I can't do it in my current state. Ain't no one got time for that. I'm too hurt. So let's I have a pretty high mind. In fact, let's increase my mind once more, and then now I can do this event. I don't have mind 6 though. Now I have one more choice, and this is going to be rough because this is dangerous. This is dangerous. This is definitely dangerous. So I guess we'll go for the spirit. Again, I can't help them. But we managed to make it to the end of the day. Let's see if Thulma can help me. Maybe add a little bit of healing. No, he cannot. I hear the whispers of the spirits. Your wounds are a trial you must deal with alone. This may change in the future and may not. Come back another time, we'll see what the spirits say about it. Well, I'm telling you, the spirits aren't what I'm worried about. I'm worried about copying a laser beam through my dome. But this is the furthest I have ever made it. So I've never made it to chapter 3. We've actually made it into the 3rd chapter of the game. As you wander through the city, you come across signs of human presence. Not the usual bandits or scavengers. It seems as if someone lives here. You follow traces and debris until finally you reach a secluded interior. You prepare to get through the barricade. Inside you find huts, tents and supply crates a little further ahead. You see people waiting for you. They don't attack you. It seems they are fully aware of your presence and were expecting your visit. You start talking to them. Their leader, named Garner, tells you her people has been watching you for several days. They know what you're searching for and suspect what it might be. Garner offers you help. You know, of course, that nothing comes for free. You ask what they expect in return. Garner tells you about the Butcher clan, the blood thieves who are persecuting her tribe. Her people witnessed how you handle dangers and want to enlist your help. Now, I have met Garner in the Wasteland before. Not in chapter 3, but there is a chance you will come across her people earlier on in the game. I am going to help, because that will gain me an extra member of the group. Garner informs you she won't allow you to risk your life alone. For her people, she decides to accompany you. Although her companions are not pleased, she refuses to listen to their protests. She claims her daughter will be just as good a leader as she. She says goodbye to everyone. She probably doesn't expect to return to them again. When the farewells come to an end, Garner approaches you. She says you can set off. She will help you find the blood thieves and defeat them. She takes her weapon with her and assures you she will be of assistance in every confrontation. Finally, you set off on your journey. You creep through the dark corridors following the path indicated by Garner. The hideout of the blood thieves is nearby. Eventually you'll reach your destination. For a moment you check your weapons and armour. Finally, it can't be delayed any longer. You charge into the attack. Now, this is a bit of a risk, but Garner is an incredibly powerful companion. She has a number of different abilities and it was just too good to pass up. You face creatures that may have once been human. Now their bodies are completely white and scarred with mutations and cybernetic implants. You don't see human feelings in their faces. They're like artificial masks. Maybe they really are, but their eyes shine with a sick desire and hunger. Okay, now these guys are pretty tough, but they don't do a lot of damage. So what we can do is we can wear them down. We don't have any choice. We have to go on the attack. You are ready for further battle. There's no time to wait. You tighten your grip on the weapon and charge. Time to finish him off. So one last charge into the breach, the enemy finally falls, ultimately defeated. You manage to emerge victorious from the skirmish. You can assess the losses, damages before moving on. Now, unfortunately, we didn't get anything in the way of new equipment or weapons or supplies, but doing that quest was worth it alone because now we have 3 members of the tribe. You have my gratitude for helping my people. So we can talk to Ghana and see if her village has sent her any good intel. From what I can tell, they're doing great. My daughter is a great leader. I'm glad I left the tribe in better condition than I found it. Can a leader dream of anything more? Now let's see if Thorma is going to offer me some healing. Of course not. Your spirits are a cruel bunch, my friend. I guess the only thing that can help us is to pet our little doggy friend. So we're now in virgin territory. I've never made it this far before. Now, given our current health situation, I don't know how much further we're going to make it, but there's a few things I know for sure. The invisible entity will end our game. This thing is an absolute beast. We're avoiding this. I would rather fight these guys than this. So we're looking for safe opportunities. I'm going to go for the lichens because I know these are poison, but I can actually say leave. And I can... The mutagenic spores are going to hurt me though. I want to try and avoid those. I mean, these are all bad. Looking at the stats here, this golem will absolutely kill me if I fight it. The wild mutant will absolutely kill me on the first try if I fight it. And the feral golem will absolutely kill me, as well as the invisible entity. So, I mean, death, 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 and death. So our only choices are these 3 and this one. So I guess let's go. I mean, this will possibly kill me. I'm going to go for the question mark. We're going to cross our fingers and hope for the best. May it be something good. In the darkness, you see a strange violet glow. After a moment, you notice dark flowers blooming everywhere. From each of them, subdued light emerges from between razor-sharp petals. When you stare at the light for too long, something urges you to approach. You have to fight with yourself not to give in to temptation. Every moment of inattention ends with you trying to touch the flowers only to injure yourself painfully. So we're really hurt, and I am going to use one of my food to heal myself because at this rate we're going to die. Unfortunately, it was very ineffective. Let's have a talk to the travelers. You come across a group of wanderers like you. They are wandering the wreckage in search of targets known only to them. It turns out they're not friendly. As soon as you approach, they reach for their weapons. They intend to rob you. Okay, crawlers. We fought these guys before. We gotta run. We gotta run. We absolutely cannot win. With 3 health, they would kill us. So we've got no choice. We're running. Now we've got 3 choices left. 3 choices, 3 health. I'm not locking my chances here. Telepathic crystals. The crunch underfoot immediately raises concern. When you glance at the floor, you see pale blue crystals forming around the area where you stand. As you attempt to move, you notice the crystals growing around you, surrounding you with dangerous spikes. You quickly realize your fear accelerates the pace of their growth. You try to move forward while mastering your thoughts. Whenever you lose focus for a moment, one of the crystals rapidly expands, brushing against your body. Okay. Down to 2 health. 2 health. 2 decisions. Now, you don't have to be a genius to know we probably reached the end of our journey. So I'm going to roll the dice again. We're going to heal with some food. Really not that useful. 1 health. This is the only decision that gives me a chance of survival. The strange smell in the air immediately arouses your concern. Tiny particles are flying everywhere, and unwillingly you inhale them into your lungs. You feel like these particles are doing something strange to your body. You try to leave the area as quickly as possible. You know that everything now depends on the resilience and strength of your body. Well, thankfully, I actually got a bit of a break there, but I'm not going to lie. The next choice is bad no matter what. Death, death, and death. Now, I know the invisible entity is probably going to kill me. I know these guys are definitely going to kill me. I can see the stats on the screen. So the only choice that gives me any chance of survival is to confront the invisible entity and pray that there is a non-combat resolution. You feel a strange presence behind you. When you turn around, you see nothing. You continue walking, but you have the feeling something is watching you. It's as if you're not alone, and someone is trailing you, always avoiding your gaze. Even though you keep walking, picking up the pace in a hurry, the presence becomes increasingly intrusive. Just when you're about to bolt in a panic, everything subsides. It's only then you notice some valuable items in the room. My God. So let me tell you what happens. That invisible entity is a cryptid of massive proportions. If it catches you, it will insta-kill you. After this video, I'm going to buy some lottery tickets because it appears my luck is most beneficial today. Thorma, please heal me. Okay, so Thorma's finally playing ball. Let's see what Garner can do for me. And then I guess if we're going to die, I'm going to pat my faithful Poochie. Oh, first aid kit. So we've got ourselves, that is one hell of a lifeline. Then we can go to the merchant caravan. And what can I buy? I can buy a first aid kit, yes. Now, I would have really liked to buy supplies, but I just had a look at what we got coming up. We got fight. We got 2 action points. I cannot get around fighting one of these guys. So at least I've got a way to heal myself. So I'm going to start with a mystery event. We're going to cross the old fingers, hope that my luck holds out. You find in a hidden area that appears completely forgotten and therefore safe. The monumental interiors and decorations fill you with a profound spiritual peace. Okay, we've done this one before, so we should be able to heal ourselves. Oh, very nice. Our chances of survival just went up by a huge degree. Now, having a look at, I mean, we got to fight. We got no choice. Looking at enemy stats, he's pretty strong. He's pretty strong. He's pretty strong, and he's pretty strong. The half man is by far the easiest fight. So that's what we're going to go for. At first, you feel like you're seeing a human. Then you start to understand what it really is. This thing may have once been human, but now it's just a dead shell, driven by something different, something aggressive. Okay, so his actual damage is going to be pretty low. The place where a face once was stares back at you, fighting something so grotesque it never ceases to unnerve you. Well, one swing. Hell yeah. The half-man falls, his artificial body shattered. The remnants of humanity had long since abandoned the thing, leaving only an empty shell. Not too bad, we made it through another day. Now, food's going to be a bit of a problem. Unfortunately, I spent most of my money on medical kits, and if another villager comes to me asking for medical help, I'm going to tell them to go pound sand, because I am not giving away all of my... No way. Okay, so we've got 6 actions. These obviously going to get harder and harder as we go. So we're going to leave the lichen. Then let's go for the labyrinthine corridors. We've done this. Basically, we just have to escape through the labyrinth. Now, this guy's got 10... Oh, actually, this fight's going to be nice and easy because we do 10 damage per hit and he's only got 5 health. So we can take on this half animal. The decaying carcass of the animal is merely a puppet controlled by a parasite. Your problem now is that the parasite is seeking a better host. Well, guess what you're getting, son? The animal charges you, narrowly avoid its teeth and claws. You fend off each attack at a frantic pace. The parasite leaves the animal's body, leaving only the carcass behind. You are safe again. Probably wanted to kill the animal, but the parasite bites anyway. We've got some food. I'm hoping that food is not in the form of eating that monster. Now we've got 3 more events. The Depths of Nightmares. That sounds bad, but I mean, these two look really nasty. With every breath, you feel a growing unease. You have an irresistible feeling that a deadly danger lurks in every shadow. Perhaps it's really the case. Perhaps something will jump out at any moment. You have no idea what's happening, but it's getting worse by the moment. Panic takes over. You start running aimlessly just to get out, just to escape. The most primal animal instincts of one. During this frenzy, you must have run really far. Eventually, when you snap out of the stupor, you have no idea where you are, but whatever got into your head is now behind you. Okay, so our armor got damaged, our health got damaged, and our action points. Now, I'm not going to lie, that's not great, but we're still alive. And we've gotten ourselves another level up. Now, we've really been struggling with body, so I'm going to put a point in body. Now, we're starting to get to the pointy end of the game. I don't know how... This is the furthest I've ever made it. But the problem is, supplies are low, food is low, we don't have much at all. So again, we're going to go for the decisions we know are safe. A half animal, we can kill that pretty easy. We already know how to defeat this animal. Boom. And we've got ourselves some food. And we can actually go for the aggressive robot, because I can kill that in one hit. The machine you pass suddenly changes its behaviour. Slow movements turn into fast and aggressive ones. It lunges towards you. It clearly attempts to harm you in a very brutal way. Well, guess what? I do 10 damage, you got 10 health, get wrecked. What? I missed? Now that's new. I haven't actually had an attack where I've missed before. But the robot falls to the ground with a bang. His mechanical hand squeezes one last time before the system shut down forever. After the fight, you notice your equipment has been damaged. Okay, things are getting bad. My weapons and my armor are starting to really take a bit of a pounding, and we haven't found any replacement armor or weapons yet. So all these fights are going to be bad. I want to try and avoid those. I've got 3 action points, so I mean it's pretty obvious. We're going to go for the bottom three options here. We've been to this settlement before. Then we can go to the Hall of Worship. You find a small room. The entire floor is covered in thick blankets and dirty cushions. Okay, we've done this before. Get ourselves some scrap. And finally, the genetic laboratory. And we've done this before. Oh, wow. So we actually got a ton of food and scrap. I don't know how we're doing it, but we're still going. Let's keep rolling the dice, baby. Okay, so now we've got 6 per day. We've got 6 fights, and yeah, it's not good. It's not good. So let's go with the attacks or the events that we know are safe to complete. The Sentry Robot is a pretty safe bet, just because of its low health. Here we go. Another dead robot, so I'm going to upgrade my mind skill. And then we're going to head over to the observatory. We're doing quite well. Now, we would be doing a lot better if I had some medikits, but it is what it is. We've been to the observatory before. We can just have a bit of a rest. Okay, three events left. So let's head over to the Echo of the Wrong. By pure chance, you find yourself in a hall where some kind of terrifying trial is taking place. A group of disgusting, deformed mutants surround several men lying on the floor. They notice your presence. They immediately try to explain you what's going on here. In hoarse voices, they explain to you these people hunted their tribe and murdered mutants without mercy. They want you to leave them alone so they can take revenge for their wrongs. The tied people lie unconscious, so you can't learn their opinion. I mean, that's a tough one. Now, I am inclined to believe the humans, but the point is I only have one side of the story. So I'm going to take a bit of a guess here, and I guess there's a bit of self-preservation tied in. If I help the humans, they could be murderers, like the mutants say, and if I help them, it might also send the mutants after me as well. So as much as this may be a bit of a morally grey answer, we're going to go with the mutants. You wonder if you can convince them to break this cycle of violence. Let's try. We'll try to negotiate. Your arguments fail to convince the angry mutants. In the event, you're with no choice but to go your own way. Well, I feel a bit better now. At least I tried to avoid a disaster. Now we can, there's another event we've done as well. We can repair the robot. We've got a 50-50 chance. It may be friendly, it may attack us. And in our case, we got the second option, which is the friendly robot. So let's head to the drone hangar. We've done this already. Ancient drones. So the combat drones are attacking. Oh, we have to get out of here. So as you can see, they've got a health of 12. I will have to attack them twice, and yeah, we can look. I've got 6 health exactly. We've got no choice. We've got to run. But it seems that fleeing encounters with robots seems to have a very high chance of success. Let's see if Thulma can help me out again. Come on, Thulma. Not too bad, not too bad. So we're doing well. We're doing well. And we've got a first aid kit. Yeah, we're taking that. Now we can... Oh, there is a merchant caravan. I don't have a lot of scrap. Not enough to make a trade yet. We'll hang on to that as our last option. I'm going to get a set of camouflage suit. Armor 3. Well, it's the same as what we've got, so we'll take it. Now yeah, this is not good. 9 damage. This actually is pretty good. We could win this in one shot, but for now, let's go for the less dangerous option. You enter a peculiar dark forest hidden within the bowels of ancient ships. It's hard to assess where it came from, and you don't recognize these fungal trees. Here and there you spot bone fragments and bodies. The place terrifies you. You want to get out of here as quickly as possible. Sometimes you catch a glimpse of something worth stopping for, but each such stop costs you a lot of nerves and fear. Not too bad, not too bad. Now, let's go to the trader, because I would really like to purchase myself a medikit. Oh, grenade launcher. So one of the traders has a grenade launcher, but I just realized I don't have enough body to use it. So, well, I wouldn't have been able to buy it anyway. I don't have the money. So unfortunately, the caravan didn't give me the option to purchase a med kit. I could really use one. Let's go for the mutants, because I think I can one-shot them. Okay, we have fought these guys before. Got 13 health? Uh-oh. This might be bad. I may have miscalculated those stats. Enemy health 13, enemy attack 6. I mean, we're kind of in it for now. Let's try and run away. We're lucky. We're very lucky. Oh, there's a half animal. Well, these guys are great to farm for food, so let's kill him. Very nice. Now that's just money for jam. right there. Now we've got a couple of merchant caravans. I may, no, let's go. We don't have the luxury of being able to leave them for last. I need medical help. Let's get a first aid kit. Thank you, sir. I wonder why that's not showing up. I bought a first aid kit. They charged me for it, but it's yeah, I can only heal myself with food. Maybe I have to use it during a battle. That's okay. Let's head into the abandoned warehouse. We've done one of these before. Okay, these are the same guys as before. I do not want to fight these guys. I'm going to run. Nope. Oh, this is bad. Now, unfortunately, they do a damage of 6, and it's going to, if we do a little bit of math, it's going to take me 2 hits to kill them. It's going to take them 2 hits to kill me. So I've got no choice. I've got to run. Can't win this. Another day. It feels like we're just scraping by. We're literally scraping by. We're barely making it through. Now I could really use a weapon upgrade right now. And we can replace our current suit. The Heart of Darkness. We made it. This is the furthest I've ever made it. Thanks to the ship's repair systems, all the gaps have been sealed. It looks like you can enter inside. Before you see the broken door, although the darkness it doesn't seem inviting, you can step inside. You wander through the abandoned narrow corridors for a while, cautiously placing one foot in front of the other. The ship feels deserted. Eventually you find yourself in a room that's different from the others. It seems this place was important to the ship's crew. Perhaps the most important, the doors are open. You start to feel increasingly strange. Dizziness sets in. The colours of your surroundings become unnatural. Odd thoughts race through your mind, growing stranger by the moments. You see the crew of the ship. You witness their journey through the darkness and the cold of space, a journey without purpose, without hope. You see these people with each passing generation become less and less human. You watch as they gradually descend into the depths of madness, driven by a twisted genius fueled by that insanity. You witness cruelty, brutality. You see the things they did to each other, so evil, so vile and disgusting. All you can do is to wish to make it stop, to close your eyes and escape from this horrifying reality. You see the ultimate goal, where all the evil is converged, and you realise that this is no longer a vision. What you're looking at is a mysterious artifact emanating a sense of immense power and immense repulsion. You see what you came here for. Destroy the artifact. You decide that although the artifact could bring energy and wealth to your settlement, the risk is too great. You can't quite put your finger on it, but you feel something repulsive every time you look at it. The thing must not be allowed to reach your settlement. It shouldn't exist at all. You look around the room. You find several wires with the right modification should lead to an explosion. You don't know if it will destroy the artifact, but you can't do anything more. You prepare everything with your best knowledge. Once it's ready, you prepare a small fuse, light it, and when the flame reaches the target, it should initiate a reaction that will end in an explosion. You grab your belongings and escape from the wreck. You manage to do so just in the nick of time. After you exit, you hear a thunderous boom echoing from within the ship. You feel a tremor, and a wave of heat blasts against you from the open door. The artifact could have helped, but at what cost? You weren't ready to find out. Turning your back on the wreckage, you set off on your journey, seeking another way to save your settlement. Now I'm going to leave it here because it's been a very long journey and I feel like there is so much more to explore, but I think this should give you more than a view on whether you want to try this game out for yourself. As you can see, we've been playing for nearly 2 hours and I've only just scratched the surface of the game. I've really been enjoying it so far, but it really comes down to whether you're into these sorts of games. But if it's any consolation, I am not the intended target of the game. I don't play these games. Yet I found myself enjoying this more than any game I've recently played. And that is quite an achievement for the developer. I'm really looking forward to seeing what they do next and what they can do with this game as they add further updates. But as always, let me know what you think in the comments, leave me a like, leave me a subscribe. Big thank you to the developers and publishers, and hopefully you'll join me next time when we check out another indie game.